Hi, Caitlin. I'm just looking at your logo design. So I think this shape is looking pretty good, but I kind of want to see it maybe a little bit fatter in the middle. I just wanted to show you the warp tool. It's underneath the width tool over here, if you're in Essentials Classic workspace. Let's go over here underneath the width tool. Let's go to the warp tool. We can double click on it. We can make the dimensions smaller. Mine was pretty big, so I made it 1 by 1. I'm keeping the intensity at 50, angle 0, show brush size, that's fine, and then push OK. So I have this shape selected already, the actual shape of the candy. So I can start kind of above the bottom line just to affect the top line, and I can actually start using the warp tool to kind of like billow out chunks of this to change the shape to be more like round and like fatter. And I can do that to the bottom line too, just by clicking and holding and dragging down on that shape. You know, might have to use the smooth tool a little bit, and might have to still use the white arrow tool to kind of like perfect the shape, but honestly, kind of a neat tool for like just pushing a shape around and really perfecting it. And it's fun to work with. So it's just something to play with. And then the envelope distort that we did in class, we could try doing here. Let's see, what kind of text is this? Maybe you outlined it. Okay, yeah, you did. So if we click and drag out the text box and put in Wonka, oops, in all uppercase, you might want to try just doing that envelope distort and make with mesh, depending on. And I did find a Wonderbar font. If you wanted to try working with that, it's kind of cool. The Sparicata is pretty decent. Actually, the font that you found is good too. I just don't know what it is. But yeah, if you did the 2x2 object envelope distort make with mesh 2x2, you could get even a closer shape to what you have here. This is basically what we did in class. I'm going to change my little directions of my things, push this down, narrow these up as much as possible on the sides, but still making it legible. Maybe bring that out to make it more eyeball-y shaped. Bring this out, maybe a little bit thicker in the middle. If I push shift, I could have gotten this perfectly straight, but I can even move the middle of it a little bit. So that's pretty good. And let's see, oops. And then with this red shape, you could grab it, remove the fill color. I know you were just experimenting. You can make the stroke kind of thicker, and you might have to use the arrow tool or the smooth tool to like really get it nice and smooth in certain areas. Even after you use that warp tool to fatten it if you wanted to make it fatter. Of course, you don't have to make it fatter, but then you can use a combination of the arrow. We can also delete some anchor points if it's just too complicated too. I mean, like, don't need all of these anchor points in here that were placed in here by the warp tool. We did get that nicer, fuller shape that we were going for, but it is, oops, we don't want to delete the most important ones, but some of them don't actually make too much of a difference. They're actually just complicating things. So some of them do make a difference though, so yeah. Oops, let's see. We can lengthen the handles too. If we shift click on them, we can lengthen the handle too to make the shape a little different too. So yeah, something like that would be good. So yeah, we could play around with these handles a little bit to get them doing what we want them to. We can lengthen them on certain sides. So yeah, I think that's pretty close to what I'm wanting. You can still use the smooth tool to perfect it further, but I think making it a thicker stroke is important just to make it look more bold. And then we can go in here and we can actually make the ends a little different. I don't think this shape is completely joined together at the end here. I think they're overlapping, so it's not really a closed shape. So I wonder if we can object path join. Okay. Yeah, because this I don't think is joined together. Object, path, join. Okay, it did, but I don't want it to look like that. But I can use the delete anchor point tool to delete one of the anchor points. At least it's actually closed now. There might actually be more than one. Oops. There might actually be more than one anchor point in here because we're getting this really weird thing. So I'm going to try. Yep, we do have more than one. And actually, okay, yep. So I don't see any handles on this one, but it's awfully pointy on the end. So I might have to try and smooth that out. There is this thing here, so that helps. If you grab those little things, it does help you to smoothing those lines where they join together like tightly like that. Okay, and then you can put your Wonka text in there and make it bigger, obviously. These W's are pretty good shapes for this, although there might be a better font choice, but I would go thicker with that as well. And maybe consider just leaving it open. Okay, I think this is a shape now. I'm not. So if I put a stroke on it, I can make it thicker if I do that. And maybe just throw it in there and see what happens. So maybe something like that. Maybe there might be a better font for that. And then you can put the rest of your logo text under here, or you could even maybe wrap it as in a text, type on a path to kind of wrap around. You could experiment with that, see if you like that. But I do like your concept and your idea. I just think it needs to be bolder, and this shape of text could be dialed in with the envelope distort make with mesh. Right, talk to you later.